Hello, my dear students. Please subscribe our YouTube channel for more free video lectures and click on bell button for notifications and visit our website to purchase full course.
So I repeat it once. See, this is called as ellipsis. This was there in C++, C++ also. This was more powerful there, but Java has introduced in version 1.5. See, initially when Java came, Java tried to remove all the complex things from C++ and make it more simple. People started adopting it. But later when the programmers, professional programmers were trying to do flexible things or some advanced features, they were not there in Java. So slowly they introduced that in later features, later versions. So one of this feature is this one. But here in Java, it is limited that once you set integer, then all should be integer only. This is all same data type. There's a limitation. And automatically that will convert into array. Now here, if you see, we are not sending an array, but we are sending 3 parameters. That will convert into array like this. 6 parameters convert into array. 1 that will also convert into array. So whatever the number of parameters you want, you can pass as many parameters as you want. So it is just like a overloaded method. This one method acting as many different methods, one function acting as many different functions. So it is just like that. And even if you want, you can pass an array also. It will take that as an array. All right. But as it is taking all integers, so you cannot pass floats. So take this one quickly. Void fun float a, then float x. Means what? When you call this fun method, you must pass one float 3.5f, then rest it's optional. You can find pass one float 3.5f and 6.2f, 3.4f. So these two will be taken in this array and this is taken in A. Fun 6.2f 493. This will be taken in this A and these will be converted into float type and they are taken in this array A. Right? So can I call like this? Nothing? No. One parameter is mandatory. Then remaining as many as you want you can pass and all of them must be float. Void fun1 integer x float y. First parameter must be integer. Then after that, as many parameters as you want you can send, 0 or more, but all of them must be float only. That is the meaning, right? Void fun2 integer a comma float b comma int c. One integer, one float mandatory. Then after that, as many integers as you want you can pass. That is the meaning. So take these some examples. Already for this one I have shown you how what are the valid calls or not, and these are some other examples I have given. So this was variable arguments, variant arguments or variable arguments. Now, next, what are the ways how you can call a method of a class? Let us look at this. See, I have a method static void display. Same first method I am writing. System.out.println, it will say hello. Now from here, I will call method display. This we have already seen it. This is the method. Now this is a static. This is static. A static method, that is main, can call only static method. That is the reason we were declaring it as static. If I don't make it as a static, right, it is non-static. It is non-static. Now this method is non-static. Okay. How you can call non-static methods from static method? This is a main method, so I cannot call that one directly. Then how I can call it? So for calling a non-static method inside a class, inside a main method, first of all create an object of a type class, method test, t assign new method test, and then t dot display. You have to create an object of a class, then call the method. Directly you cannot call this one now because it is not static, non-static method. Void display. So now you have to take calling non-static method. So the topic is calling non-static method. So if a non-static method is there in a class, then main can call that method only by creating an object. After creating an object, it can call that method upon an object. So take this one. Method overloading. Let us see what is this. Class overload test. Now inside this class, I will write one method for finding maximum of two integers. Already we have done this one. I am writing it again. Return x greater than y, then return x, otherwise y. That's it. Now this is public static void main method, and this main method, I guess I will not have enough space there, so I'll write down main method here. Okay, I'm writing main method here. Public static void main method. Then I will create the object of this overload test class. T assign new overload test. Okay, there is no space, it looks like a space, so test. Now system.out.println t dot, it's a non-static method. I wrote a non-static method, right? So ct dot max 12 comma 6. Yes, I can call that method. Till here we know. Already I have written this method, so already I have used, but now I made it as non-static. If you want, you can make it static also. This overloading is not related to static, non-static. You can make static also, independent of that. But I am using non-static, so created an object and call. Now what I have to show you, watch it. T dot max 2.5f comma 3.7f. Can I call this? I am sending float values, but I don't have a method for float values. I have only a method for integer. So I get a error here, right? Identifier undefined or identifier not found. What is that identifier? Method name max is not found. It's not there. So method doesn't belong to a class, right? So method not found. Then for float also, I should write separate method. For float, I should write one more method, right? So for float, I will write one more method. What should be the name of a method? I want to give maximum only. So it is finding maximum. So I want to give maximum only. Then it should take parameters float x, float y. Now the question is, can you have two methods with the same name? In C language, they were not allowed. But in Java, is it allowed? In C++, they were allowed. So is it allowed in Java? Yes, more than one methods can have same name. If Java says, no, you cannot have same name, then what the name I should give now? Max int, I will change the name, max float. Shall I give the name like this? Or max I for int and max f for float. Shall I give this typical names like this? No, thanks to Java, they allow us to have multiple methods with same name. But there should be some difference. What should be the difference? The arguments must be different. Yes, they are different. Float and int. That is int and this is float. Yes. So you can have more than one methods with the same name but different argument list, and such methods are called as not the same method. They are called as overloaded method. So that's it. This is method overloading. This is method overloading. Let me finish, then I'll give you the definitions and everything. So here also I will write return same logic, integer x. See, I am using x and y only. So same logic is. So overloaded methods. Writing two or more methods with the same name but different parameter list. Okay. Now I have one more requirement. I want to say max 6 comma 12 comma 9. How? I am giving three arguments. There is only two argument method available. How you can send three arguments? No, I want to write a method for three argument also. So write it. Int max integer x, integer y, integer z. I will write the logic. But before that, are you writing the same method? See, max, max, yes. Int, all are int. It's the same method. No. 2 arguments, 3 arguments. Okay, number of arguments are different. What was the difference here? Data type of arguments was different. What is the difference here? Number of arguments are different. So yes, if the number of arguments are different, then also 2 methods are different. So let me write down the complete logic here. Return x greater than y as well as x greater than z. If x is greater than y and it is greater than z, then return x. Otherwise, check if y is greater than z. If so, return y, else return z. That's it. Just one single line I have written. Finding maximum of 3 integers. So that's all. These are overloaded methods. These are overloaded methods. See, what is method overloading? Just a definition I will give you, then I have to explain more about this one. Just a definition and you can copy this one. Writing 2 or more methods with the same name but different argument list. Listen carefully. Writing 2 or more methods with same name with different argument list is called as method overloading. But the argument must be different. How the argument list can be different? Either by its data type or the number of arguments. So I repeat once again the complete thing. Writing 2 or more arguments with the same, writing 2 or more methods with the same name but different argument list. Argument list is said to be different if the data type of the arguments are different or the number of arguments are different. So either data type or second thing is number of arguments, right? Any of these two differences must be there. Then if these are different, then the methods are said to be different. So, and that is called as method overloading. So take this one. So I am calling all these. So it's a complete program. I have written a complete program. So this is a part of a class and continuation is on this side. Okay, because I started from here. So there was no space, I wrote it here. So this is the continuation of this one. Now, few more points on this one. See, name is max. Name is max. This max can find maximum of 3 integers, 2 integers, but this max can find maximum of 3 integers. Name is same, name of a method is same, but the behavior is different, result is different, depending on how many parameters you are passing. If you pass these 2 parameters, this method will be called. If you pass these parameters, then this method will be called. Depending on the number of parameters, the method called is different and the working is different. So there's a slight change in the logic, yes, so the working is different, right? So having two or more methods with same name, but their logics are different, then it is overloading, but also it is called as polymorphism in object oriented terminology, right? In object orientation, it is called as polymorphism. Okay, polymorphism means many forms, many forms. So what are the forms? Max is having here three forms. You pass integers, that max will work, and this will work. So imagine that this is single method max. Actually, it is a single name only. Name is one only. No? We have written three, but imagine there is only one max. But it is acting for two integers also, floats also, and three integers also. So for all three, it is working, but working little differently depending on the data type, depending on the number of arguments. So here we are achieving polymorphism. Now here which method should be called? The first one. Here second method should be called. Here third. So who will decide which method should be called? Compiler will right check this one and compiler see that okay, here I should call this method, so it will link this one or associate this call with this method and associate this call with this method. So this type of linking will be done by compiler only, so we call it as compile time polymorphism. Okay, again this compile time polymorphism doesn't suit in Java, just we say polymorphism. This was there in C++. Alright, so compile time polymorphism. So in C++ we have compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism. So but in Java we have polymorphism through method overloading. That's all. Whether it's compile time or runtime, we don't talk about that one. We don't bother about that. Anyway, this is compile time in Java. It is sure that it is compile time, but we don't say it. That's it. So this is polymorphism. Polymorphism means one name or one word, different forms. For example, there is a person who know dance, that is Kuchipudi dance, Bharatnatyam dance, right? Or disco dance. So these people knows different dance. Now, if I say dance, Kuchipudi dance, Bharatnatyam dance, the method what I am saying dance is same. I don't have to say please dance in this so and so style. I don't have to elaborate. Just I have to say just start dancing, dance. So that person will dance in his style. This person will dance in his style. So to whom I am calling, it depends on that. So let us say like this parameter is like music. I started a music. So if I started a Western music, right, drums and this instrument. So then this disco person means this a breakdance person or whatever it is, he will start dancing. All right. If I use some other instruments, then this person. So depending on the parameter, this is called. You pass this, he is dancing. You pass this, he is dancing. But all are dance only. All are dance only. All right. So this is a different, same word but different form. So that's how it is polymorphism. All right. So this is a compile time polymorphism. So take this one, through method overloading we achieve polymorphism, and depending on the arguments the corresponding method will be called. All methods are having same name. Which method should be called is decided at compile time only, so it is called as compile time polymorphism. Again I repeat, method overloading is used for achieving polymorphism. One name, different methods are there. Depending on the arguments, the corresponding method is called. Second point. Third point, which method should be called is decided at compile time by the compiler, so it is called as compile time polymorphism. That's it. Now let us continue. I'll write down what is valid, what is invalid, what is allowed or not allowed, which is overloaded or not overloaded. Let us look at some syntaxes. I will write one method fun which is taking just one integer a and returning an integer. Now one method fun which is taking two integers, integer a and integer b, and returning an integer. Are they overloaded or not? This is the base one. Let us take the first one. Okay. Second one, is it overloaded or not? As per this one. As per this. Okay. This is the first method I wrote. This is overloaded according to this. Yes, it's taking two integers. Now, integer fun float a int b. Is it overloaded or not? Yes, overloaded. Now, integer fun int a float b. Check this. These two. Are they overloaded or not? First float, then int, first int, then float. One is int, one is float. It will not sum up and see that one int, one float must be there. No, order is also important. First value is a float, second value is integer. First value is integer, second value is float. Yes, this is also overloaded. This is overloaded. This is valid. Next, fun integer a float. Check with this one. Is it overloaded or not? So now all these are overloaded, and this one among till here they are all overloaded. Now this one among that, is it valid or invalid? Check it. Fun, int. Return type is int, return type is float. So they are different. No, they are not different. A return type is not considered in overloading. So these are not overloaded. Wrong. A return type is not checked. Everything is same, name is same, parameter list is same, parameter is only one and that too integer type, everything is same. This is not overloaded. This is having ambiguity with this method. This is not allowed. This is not allowed. Right? So return type is not considered. The order of parameter is different. Okay, they are different, no problem. But if the return type is different, they are not different method. So compiler says that redefinition of a method. Again, you are defining a same method. You are redefining a method. Or method fun is already defined. Why you are defining again? So return type is not considered in overloading. This is important. Okay. Then fun int dot a int. Now this is not allowed. Leave it. Don't count it in the list. Now what about all this? See, this is matching with this one argument. One argument. This is matching with this one also, two arguments. This is not matching with these because they are having float. So this is not allowed again. When you write this, those are not allowed. Or if you write this, then this is not allowed. So they are same only. So this is acting as, if I give numbers now, this is first one and second one and third one, fourth one, and this one is having a problem with first one, right? It is not matching because of the first one. And this is not matching because of the first one and second one, not matching with first one and second one. So this acts as one argument also, this acts as two arguments also. Writing this method along with these method will be invalid. Separately you write on, in another program you write, but in the same class you are writing this method also and this method also, not allowed. Okay, so you have to take 2 points. Okay, you take just this point. I will show you once more this one. So the point is that return type is not considered in overloading, right? So it will ignore return type. Just check name and the parameters. Take that point. See, this will not be overloaded if you write integer a and fun with integer a and integer b and fun with int dot a. This is having a conflict with both of these. Take it quickly. So method overloading we have finished, and method overloading is used for achieving polymorphism. So that's all about methods in Java. So we have seen various type of methods in, or what all about method is there, we have discussed about that.